Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Marvel Snapcast. I'm Ken here with our other hosts, Luke Muncher and Valentine. How you guys doing?
Doing all right.
Doing
Awesome.
good.
It's great. Great. We're in the first week or so of the new Black Panther season. How's it been holding up for you guys?
Great. Black Panther's a killer card, a lot of fun. Still easy to counter, but also easy to get a lot of power down. So feels like a good balance.
Yeah,
All right.
I haven't had a lot of time to play this season so far, but I was playing a little bit earlier, and I finally started trying them out in like the Wong Zola decks or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
was gonna pull it off for the first time, and my opponent retreated. I was so
Oh,
sad,
that hurts.
but
They knew.
yeah,
They
very
knew
fun
it was
card.
coming.
Yeah.
Well, as the title suggests, we'll be talking about rankings of cards. Let's hope Black Panther made the list. Um, we'll leave it over to Luke, who's done some awesome math.
Okay. Y'all, if any of the video viewers are looking at this, you might be a little confused. This is just the easiest way I've brought this up. So what we did is we ranked our top 10 cards, 1 to 10, and with each place having a point value. So first place 10 points, second place 9 points, third place 8 points, and going down the list. So take all three lists, add up everyone's total for all the cards, and we have our like combined list. So I'm just gonna go through everyone's list real fast, and then we'll talk as a group about how the actual final list shook out. So SuperTechGod had in his number one spot had the Infinite, number two Sunspot, number three Storm, number four Sarah, number five Angela, number six Leech, number seven Wave, number eight Shang-Chi, number nine Death, and number 10 Hella. So for my list, I had Sarah. I had number one, number two Arrow, number three Wave, number four Leader, number five Odin, number six Wong, number seven Death, number eight Professor X, number nine Killmonger, and number 10 Shang-Chi. And then Val had number one Green Goblin, number two Cerebro, number three Arrow, number four Hella, number five Black Panther, number six Doctor Doom, number seven Gambit, number eight Polaris, number nine Armazola, and number 10 Sarah. So what do y'all think about each other's list? I know neither one of y'all knew my list and stuff. So what any hot takes right off the bat?
You go, Val.
I'm surprised Arrow's not at the top of your list. I know we talked about it last week, but I still thought you were going to do it. Sarah makes sense as high as you guys put her. But I think these days she's not as much value as she used to be, honestly.
Wow.
Taking away negative, taking away some of the buffs from other cards like
Magic.
Lady Sif and stuff like that. I think she's lost a lot of value. You don't see Sarah Miracle climbing the top of the ladder anymore. So I get the past importance, but I think she's a little high.
So I think so. We were talking about this earlier. It's all everyone's going to have their different theory and way formula that they divide the best card, and that's what's fun about doing this with the three of us. Sarah, for me, is so when I think most powerful card, it's just the raw, like when it hits the board of what it can cause to happen after the fact, and that explosiveness. I think there's no card better than just what you can do once you have a Sarah on board in a Sarah deck. And that's kind of the way I look at kind of stuff. If you look at my top cards, Arrow, Wave, Leader, Death's in there, Killmonger's in there, Shang-Chi's in there. That's all in my Death Wave deck. So, obviously I have a little bit of bias with those, but those are what I see that wins games. And that's what wins a lot of games against me are those combo cards. But yeah, I definitely see Sarah dropping off a little bit. Like maybe in a month I'll make this list. Maybe she's not there. Maybe she's a lot lower, but that's where I currently have her. And I mean, SuperTechGod had her at 4 too. So, I mean, it is the only card that we had on all of our lists.
That's fair.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
So
That's fair.
Correct. I think Hella, both me and Val had, which, I mean, I had Hella very low. I had Hela at the 10th spot,
10th spot, yes.
where Val had Hela at the 4th
4.
spot.
Yes, and I didn't
Which,
have her at all.
right, which I understand, but I think
How
back
often
to
do you beat a Hella that goes off?
Yes, exactly, 100%. And
Listen.
she's probably in my
That's
top
fair.
15, but I can't make her work ever. I've tried to make Hella decks work. I got her early. I just have the worst luck.
Yeah.
So
No, that is fair.
I definitely understand her power.
And I think with Sarah, I think she is one of those powerful cards. Like you said, you put her down, a lot of things can change. But I think Wave has that same ability, right? On both sides, right?
Yeah.
Now Wave makes everything 4, unless it's death, of course. But I think with that, Wave I probably should have put higher on the list for sure.
I'm kind of regretting leaving her off.
Yeah.
Actually.
See, so I think at that moment, I think Wave should have been higher based on that ability to really change the game on both sides. I think Sarah's still a good card at the moment, but I think to get her out early is the best way. And of course, it all depends on what kind of card you have in your hand after that, right? And everything else on the list, Infinite, of course, I'm sure none of you guys chosen, but definitely one of the best cards I had in the beginning, starting off the game, Of course, the top pools, and it helped a lot. But of course, Infinite is very predictable, right? You don't play on turn 5, we know Infinite's coming, right? You don't play on turn any turn, we know Infinite's possibly coming. So I get that part of it. I still think Sunspot's still a viable card too, especially if you can't play anything.
Oh, yeah.
So definitely why Sunspot's number 2 on my list.
I've won game with nothing but Sunspot and Arnim Zola.
Exactly. See,
Like
there you go.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's why he's number 2 on my list. And like I said, I think the best 3 cost card forever is going to be Storm. I think Thor comes second to me, but Storm can really change the game if nothing else changes. If no Rhino shows up or no Scarlet Witch, I think Storm makes a big difference on any deck in any game when she gets to play in lockdown and flood a location. So that's kind of the reason why Storm is up there. And then I'll skip down to Angela, which I think is, of course, should be in everybody's deck. I'm surprised nobody else mentioned Angela on this list.
She was on my short list.
She was on my short
just
list
like
as well.
Infinite and Sunspot was, and Storm.
Geez.
They were all on my short list.
Wow. Okay. And nobody else mentioned Leech, which is kind of crazy as well.
You're the only person I know that likes Leech.
Oh yeah, big fan.
I'm a huge fan.
You're a Leech fan? You guys are weird, man.
Huge fan. Would probably be in my top 15.
I like Leech. It's just he's never my first choice.
Yeah.
Right. When I build a deck, there's always 2 5-drops. Right. That's kind of the focus I go in is if I don't hit one, I probably hit the other. And with Leech, he's always the other. Like he's always the backup. And if I ever have to in the moment, I'm probably also just going, I got a 3 and a 2 over here. That might do a little bit more than the Leech. I just don't like him. He's terrifying when he drops.
Right.
It totally screws my plan up every time. But for me personally, never going into the deck.
I like Leech in the same kind of stuff that you'd run Infinite in with Lockjaw, Jubilee, stuff like that to get him out earlier. I think those can be very powerful plays. But yeah, I can definitely see the lowness on Leech, but Leech is very fun and I think very good. With most against most cards. Like that's one thing with most of these cards, like with leader and stuff, like leader's number 4 on mine. If you leader, there's only so many cards you can get out of that with, and it's situational based. It's the same way with Leech. Like if you leech Magneto or something, like you're not really hurting them. Maybe they wanted to pull, or you're helping,
but you never know. I think that's what terrifies me is like, am I helping my opponent? Are they getting? Is it hitting Infinite? Is it hitting Agatha? Right. Is it hitting Ebony Maw? Like that kind of stuff keeps me away.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah, because definitely, or if you're playing against a Patriot deck, every card now is a vanilla card. So
unless you hit a Patriot.
Yeah, you just hope to hit their Patriot, Mystique, and Ultron or something.
Yeah.
And then of course Shang-Chi. Did we all have Shang-Chi or just me and?
I did. Just you and me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and Shang-Chi definitely another card that changes the game all the time. People lose to Shang-Chi. People are frustrated with Shang-Chi. I mean,
I think I left him off out of spite.
Yeah, I believe that because how many times have we have lost a shot? Even this season with Black Panther, how many
Today.
times have we lost a shot? It's just bananas. So I had to
Yeah.
put him up there, and Death definitely had to take that spot too because Death is one of those cards that could change the game as well, right? Whether you have wave or not, you destroy a bunch of cards. Death is 0-12. That's amazing to play at any turn. And then of course, like you said, Hella's amazing. I had to put her on there. That's why Arrow didn't get that spot. It's between Arrow and Hella, and I've won a lot of games with both cards, but I've went an entire season to Infinite with Hella, so had to give Hella that props.
I've never had that look. Hella is definitely the biggest like jackpot card.
Oh yeah,
in
called the
in the
casino
game.
deck for
Like,
a reason, for sure.
yeah.
And then looking at Val's list is like, of course we know Green Goblin hands down, but
dude,
Green Goblin these days, I don't know about you, but he doesn't really put too much of a dent when he goes to the other side of the game. You know what I mean? The -3 is not a problem now because we're playing bigger cards. We're pulling other cards out. So it's tough for me to.
Biggest benefit is
Yeah.
just space.
Okay, that's fair.
It's not about that -3. It's about
Right.
getting in your opponent's way.
Okay.
Filling a lane where they need to hit an Arnim Zola, who's in every other damn deck now. Filling a lane that stops a Warpath from going off. Filling a lane that just fills the lane. Like if you're facing a bot and that bot is going into turn 4 with 3 cards at a location, you drop your Green Goblin, you know you're good to go without priority. You know, just little stuff like that. And then the bar, it's Bar Sinister that really just like really elevated him in my mind. Watching Agatha properly play a Green Goblin on Bar Sinister is one of the best moments I've ever had in this game. Against Mr. Metal, no less. I'm pretty sure it was against Mr. Metal.
Another interaction I didn't think about. You were talking about new locations, but Shiri's Lab.
Oh yeah, Shiri's Lab -6 now. Like,
Oh, yeah.
And you're taking away a spot in Shiri's Lab from them.
Yep.
So
you can win. You can win Bar with no name with little 0 action on that boy.
That
like,
is true.
he's versatile.
You're right. Okay.
One of the greatest voice lines in the game. Like, I mean,
Well, that is true. That I give you that. And then we go to Cerebro, which number 2 on your list. I know how much you love Cerebro, but you really
he's grown on me so much over the last week. I think and especially going forward, knowing a lot of the leaked cards that are coming that will adjust card value, and I'll say nothing more than that. I think Cerebro is a hidden gem waiting to emerge in way more decks than you realize. And if you build around Cerebro properly, you build a contingency plan into the deck, you find the right power number, you find the right cards around that, he can pop off without needing to hit. Like your deck can do just fine. Specifically 5 and 6, I've found very consistent. 6, you can just make a hella deck. And
that's fair.
You never need to really have Cerebro hit, but if he does, it's just extra power everywhere. It's perfect.
I mean, that makes sense. I think just like the card after that, you chose Arrow. In the beginnings, when we first started playing with Arrow, not a lot of people knew about Arrow, except, of course, Loot Muncher. Shout out to Loot Muncher and his Arrow love. But Arrow wasn't in a lot of decks back then. Arrow is in almost every deck now, especially Death Wave and everything else. So props.
That buff helped.
Right. Yes.
In our defense, that buff really helped.
Agreed.
Loot saw the potential, and Second Dinner just realized it at some point.
Yeah, it's for me, it's just that effect of being able to make their whole turn for them, especially like with priority, and then with wave, shutting down their options. They can only play one card, so you're moving that one card where you want it to be. I just find it to be so good, even at the very beginning. Like, I don't remember exactly what it was, but I remember just doing what we've talked about new players doing: get a new card, play with it, see what's up. And I don't remember. It may have been an Infinite. I may have my opponent skipped turn 5, and I knew that it was coming, and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to put it over here in the lane that I'm okay with losing, and I'll win the other 2." And then it just clicked. I was like, "Oh, Arrow is really good."
Yeah.
No, I agree. So
I think we all tried too hard to pair it with the Kingpin, and it didn't work. they realized it didn't work, and that's all anybody was trying to do with it. But
every single time I went into a chat and there was talking about Arrow, I was like, "Oh, try Arrow. Arrow's phenomenal." And they're like, "Okay, yeah, we'll put Arrow in the deck. We'll put Kingpin in the deck." I'm like, no,
Right, you don't
stop!
need Kingpin.
You've gone too far.
Yes,
it doesn't need to be a combo card
No.
necessarily.
No,
It can be.
It can be. Doesn't need to
100%.
be. though.
Especially now with the change with Kingpin and stuff.
Yeah.
I've played a paper deck not too long ago. And his whole thing is he had a combo where you Sarah on 5 and then Kingpin Arrow on 6. Very fun.
No, that makes
Gross.
sense, and that's
That's
exactly.
gross.
My favorite time with Arrow was back in the day with Fixed Tower being the hot location. It was just, I remember
You
that
were afraid to
CubeRush.
play on turn 5.
Yes, it was like the best thing ever. You know, it was fun time. So I totally get that. And Cerebro's going to be that Arrow once all the new cards come out.
I think the next 2 months in particular, I think are going to be really big for Cerebro.
All right.
Depending on what we see in Pool 4 as well.
Oh, yes.
There's a couple out there. I think Cerebro 3 especially is going to be
big.
Yeah.
Oh, because there are cards out there that now makes all 3 costs a certain amount, right? A certain power. So yes, you make sense. I can already see that happening now. And then of course you chose Hela, which again I'm with you on that. We use Hela a lot. Black Panther, he was going to be in my list. He is number 11, so I didn't put him in. So, but listen, Black Panther's great. He got me this season to Infinite. So, shout out to Black Panther. But more so playing Black Panther and Taskmaster more so than Black Panther and Armanzola because, as you know, Shang-Chi will come out right on turn 6 and end all that. So,
I think that's part of why Black Panther is so good, though, because if you can see that Shang-Chi coming,
yes,
if you somehow know that there's a Shang-Chi coming down that line, don't do anything with Panther. Just play Panther.
Right.
Just play Panther as he is. Don't
correct.
Don't double him up.
That's true.
Well, don't quadruple him up.
That's correct.
And he's safe.
That is true. I totally agree with that. And that's happened too, right? Just play him, then Armanzola him, and then you'll get the 16 and the other buff after. So I agree with you on that. Dr. Doom, definitely agree with you on that too. Dr. Doom is a great card. Definitely enjoy winning with him. He's also in the Black Panther deck that got me to Infinite this season. So if I Wong on 4, Doom on 6, it's over, right? Because he's doubling up 10 Doom bots on the side.
Dude, Doom was like that early 6-drop card for me that I think got me through the first few seasons and just being able to access things you could not access. His reach alone, it's just a really beefy squirrel girl, it's all over the board when you need it to be. Perfect.
I totally agree.
Yeah, I really like Dr. Doom too. I think Dr. Doom is probably one of the first cards when I first got a hold of the beta and I was looking through all the cards coming out and stuff, and I saw Dr. Doom and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, wait, what's going on? 6 costs for 15 power. I mean, it's split between 3 lanes, but Jesus.
Yeah, yeah, you're right, absolutely right. And then Gambit, which I pair in my Hela deck, is amazing because definitely the casino roll there. Gambit will take out something that he needs to, which will save the whole game, and he's done that for me all the time.
So many times. He's also completely whiffed more times than I can count. But and when he hits, when you give someone in chat go, yeah, you have like a 16% chance at actually hitting the one card you need, and you hit it. There's no better feeling.
Totally agree. And then Polaris, which I think got big with the Miles season last season because I didn't really use. Yeah, I didn't. Baby Arrow, correct. I didn't use Polaris at all until Miles came out. So, props to that. Polaris, I think, have one of the best variants in the game too. In that whole armor suit, I love that Polaris.
Oh God, yeah.
So shout out to Polaris for sure, but definitely was the sleeper for me because I definitely did not play with Polaris until Miles. But that is the Baby Arrow. Totally agree with you on that. And then of course you have Armanzola, which Armanzola has been destroying decks for so long, just beating people left and right. That last turn, moving big cards over Devil Dinosaur. It was just, Armanzola is just amazing. And then also sending back goblins, right? Because
dude, yeah,
that's the best feeling on the planet.
When the low roll is hitting a goblin, it's perfect.
So amazing on that. And
that is 100% one of the reasons I had Odin so high too, because I just feel like Odin gets better every time a new on reveal comes out. So with Black Panther and stuff, and I was like, Odin's just so good. But then I was like, oh man, I have Odin so many goblins back to my phone hit like.
Yeah, Odin, which is not on our list, right? Odin and White Tiger. Again, those are the early days of combos. But if we have to do an actual from top to bottom list, I'm sure they'll be in the top 15 somewhere. And of course, you chose Sarah, which again, we all agree Sarah is one of the, if not the best card in the game currently, or close enough. And then of course you had Agatha here, who is just here because Agatha's really not in the deck.
Agatha,
so.
she might be number 11, but she's Agatha, and she starts in your top 10 list automatically without taking up a space. So
Yeah,
she's there.
She's there. And I've won some games with Agatha. I have an Agatha Hella deck, which I've brutally played, and it worked out sometimes. But oh my gosh, it's so crazy.
I'm determined to make Agatha work in more decks than she's supposed to. I almost have an Agatha Cerebro 1 that works. It needs a tiny bit of tweaking, but
of course Val will. Of course Val will.
It's almost there.
Wow.
That sentence hurts my brain. Agatha Cerebro 1. I don't even want to think about it. My first thought was, oh, tell me about it. What's going on? I was like, nope, never mind. I don't.
I need like one more card that makes a 1 power token to come out that doesn't cost 6 power, and we're talking.
That's oh my gosh, that's definitely big brain plays there. I just wow. You know what? You are exciting me to play with Cerebro. I think I will do that. After this, I will try to play with Cerebro. And if I get a headache, Val, I'm not playing Cerebro ever.
I'll give you a perfect Cerebro 6 deck with Hella. Please. You're gonna love it.
Please. Okay, perfect.
So Cerebro, SuperTechGod's going with Cerebro to CubeRush tomorrow. He's gonna go -40, and we're gonna watch him scream at Val next week on the podcast.
Oh my gosh! You know what, Val? Send me that list after this. I will definitely try it on stream tonight. And if I get 8 cubes, just 8 cubes, if I get 8 cubes with Cerebro and Hella, I would bring that deck to CubeRush tomorrow.
And if you bring that deck, I'll bring that deck.
Fair enough. You know what? You heard it here first, guys. We're playing Cerebro.
Spoilers.
Hella tomorrow. Me and Val, same deck. This is gonna be interesting. I'm down to do that. I'm so down to do that.
I'm very interested now. Okay, so as we've kind of gone through everyone's list, we didn't go through mine. That's fine. But let's dive into this. So what we got for our list combined. So for the number 10 spot, leader, which is surprising that I was the only one. Like, I know I've seen both y'all play leader. I know you both like leader.
100%.
But I really enjoy leader for what I was talking about earlier. Just like it fits in that whole style that I've been playing with wave and arrow and death, like that, trying to get in a winning position on that last turn, and leader really helps you lock that up most of the time. Is really fun. One of my just favorite cards of the crazy combos. Like, I remember the first time, like, I had a Zola or something, like I copied someone's Zola, and then it hit my leader, and then it made more Zola, and it was just crazy. It took 10 minutes to resolve.
Yeah.
But, what's y'all thought on leader?
I love leader, and I loved leader for a long time. I think the game's meta pushed everyone kind of in a direction of not wanting to have priority going into the last turn. And without having priority on the last turn, I feel like leader is I don't want to say useless, because it can certainly still work in your favor,
right,
but it's a much bigger swing with less payoff. And it's just kind of gone. It's in the different direction than I've gone with most of my plays as of late. So I've kind of stayed away from them.
Gotcha. What about you, SuperTechGod?
I definitely still enjoy playing with leader, especially in the Death Wave deck too. Having that option instead of playing something else on turn 6, or having that option to play leader and a 0 cost death on turn 6 is great. But just like Val said, at this point, it's a bit trickier to play with leader than it is not to play with leader. I think leader at an earlier, like if you get leader at 4 or 5, especially Pegasus comes out, or you have Electro or something else, and you could play leader earlier, I think it's pretty good. But that last turn, I kind of want to save it for what I want to do to kind of win. So that's why leader kind of wasn't on my list.
Gotcha. All right, so going to the 8th spot, we have Hela and Storm tied.
Good cards.
Yes, absolutely. I almost agreed with you when you said the best 3-drop, but then I remember Wave, but I started trying to think more. I do think Storm's probably right behind Wave for me.
Yes, fair.
For 3-drops, but yeah, I think Storm is just such a good card for shutting down lanes, and it's just such a perfect spot, like a 3/2, like because there's so many 4-drops that work with it.
Yes. Jessica Jones, Thor. Yes. Agreed.
Yeah, Drax. I know he doesn't say a lot of plays, but he does work.
Yeah. Thor's 3 now. I forgot, but yes.
Thor's 3. Yes.
Yes.
And then what was the other one? Hela.
So
we talked about Hela being that ultimate role, and she's definitely one of the most powerful cards when you have the deck that works and all that.
Which
you get a little lucky depending on the deck.
I've not seen that pixel variant.
Me neither.
Yeah,
Can you click
that's a hell of a good pixel variant.
The pixel one. I've never seen that either.
Okay.
I'm glad we were both just like, what the
yeah,
hell?
exactly.
That is good.
That's a great pixel.
They upped their pixel game so much. I feel like enough of us complained during the beta. It's like, these don't look very good. Oh, that's great.
I have every other Hela variant, but that one. That's interesting.
That might not be released yet.
Hope I get that. I hope it comes in the store tonight.
Alrighty, and then so tied for the 6th spot. Like I said, we've got a few ties the way this point system works. We got Cerebro, which we talked a lot about, and then Sunspot. Sunspot is I really like that card. It was definitely on my short list also. The only reason I think I didn't put him is because of Killmonger, how popular Killmonger is. Right. But it's definitely Killmonger makes a lot of my choices when I'm building a deck or what I want to play in a deck. Sunspot is one of those 1-drops that obviously doesn't work with Killmonger, like the Hood or Yondu. Like you're fine with them getting destroyed. But Sunspot is one of those cards that offers such good value and is so good that I will play it in a deck with Killmonger. Obviously, I don't want to Killmonger roll, and I'll try to play around that. But that it's definitely one of the 1-drops that's worth playing to me.
Number 2 on my list, so you already know how I feel about it.
You know what? In retrospect, Sunspot might be the card that has gotten me the most, where I go, "Oh, I won! Wait, what? I lost?"
Exactly. Yes.
Like the number of times I don't anticipate 6 potential power dropping in that lane that's already full, maybe.
Yes,
is insane. That dude is, if he can survive, you can't cut him out.
Yeah, see, the bots taught me very well to look at that. I cannot tell you how many bots beat me with Sunspot because I'm like, okay, I have this figured out. And then I play my stuff and the bot just doesn't do anything and wins. I'm like, oh my God.
Yep.
Alrighty. And then let's see. Number 4, we have both of y'all's number 1s at Infinite and Green Goblin.
All right.
So we definitely talked about these, about how good they are. And I just wanted to add too. So Infinite, like I was saying a little bit with Leech, I think he is such a powerful card, and it was very close to being on my list too, is just that 20 power. Because you can Lockjaw, Jubilee, like all this other stuff to get it out. Hela, it's a great discard target. Ghost Rider.
Yep.
So definitely just that raw 20 power makes it a very powerful card. By the way, I really like this 8-bit too. But yeah, so yeah, that's definitely something I think is going to be very good. And even like a Dracula, I think Dracula is very underplayed. Correct. It was almost on my list also,
right,
as like one of the most underrated cards. Me and Kyle was talking about it the other day, just because there's so few ways to interact with Dracula. I think Dracula is very underplayed. Maybe there's some cards that help it out later on.
Dracula is actually phenomenal. It's impossible to adjust his power value negatively,
right?
As long as he discards something.
Yeah, you can't stop him. So
Alrighty. And then so we get into the top 3. So Wave, I think we all talked about how good Wave
Oh,
is.
look at that variant. The last one. Jeez,
That
I
last
want
one's
that.
really
Yeah,
good.
I want that one.
I like that Pixel one. I don't think I've seen
Pixel-
that Pixel one.
Pixel one's good too,
Pixel
but
See,
ones are so
Yeah,
good.
I like the Octopus one, but
yeah, wow. We need these variants now.
yeah. And then so the number 2 slot, Arrow. We talked about how good Arrow is for that, and just by 1 point, I just needed SuperTechGod to put it anywhere, could at least tied, even at that 10th spot. But yeah, Arrow's 2 at 17 points, and Sarah was 1. And by the way, I think we're all waiting for this Sarah.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
think she's in the game yet. I haven't seen her.
I haven't seen that at all. That's a
I-
big X. Holy
Yeah.
crap!
I have the
Yes.
Pixel one, and I have the one in the green outfit.
I might have the 1609 one. I might have that. I think.
Yeah. Did I know I read in this encyclopedia behind me, Sarah is married to somebody.
Angela.
Yeah. Okay. Right. All
Married to
right. That's
Angela.
right. There we go. Amazing.
But yeah, so that's our combined list. I think it's a pretty good list. I really enjoyed this talking with these card choices with y'all. This is really fun. Definitely have to maybe revisit this like once a year, or maybe
Once a
sooner,
month,
depending. Yeah. We'll see how much it changes.
That's true. We need more cards.
Yeah. I mean,
We'll see how much higher you guys put Cerebro up next month.
That's a good point. Yeah,
So I don't think I got into it, but Cerebro, the only reason I don't like Cerebro as much is because it's so easily messed up with locations
True.
and stuff like
Which
that.
is why you
So-
build in that secondary option.
Yes, absolutely. Because I am a big fan of what is it, the Cerebro 3? Because I will definitely
There's so
run
much location
Rhino.
control. Oh my god.
Well, yeah, with Rhino and Scarlet Witch and stuff. So, but yeah, so that's our list, guys. I think it's a pretty good one. I think that there's definitely powerful cards here.
Yeah, I can't wait for the more new cards to come out, which we can definitely discuss and talk about once that happens. Pool 4, Pool 5, and let's see if any of these cards make the list again when we do this a month or so from now. And let's see if Cerebro does go to that top of that list. I'd be intrigued to see that.
Spoilers: Arrow will be there for me.
Okay, we'll see. Listen, Val, send me the Cerebro list. I might make my own Cerebro list tomorrow, but I am going to pick Cerebro for CubeRush tomorrow. I'm definitely
Hell
gonna do that.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Y'all make sure to tune that in or go watch the
Yes.
YouTube Marvel Snap Zone.
Yes, check out Marvel Snap Zone. Come to CubeRush live events tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. We're gonna have a blast tomorrow, guys. It's gonna be super fun. We have 7 people. We have one new person. Eggs for sale?
Yes. Eggs for sale.
Awesome. Yep, she's cool. So I've seen her stream before, so we'll see. She should pull out a victory tomorrow. You know how the new people get all the good luck, so let's see how that happens. I mean, we're playing Cerebro.
Who's hosting that?
It is Binks and Wes D4 Best.
Yeah,
Cool.
we the best.
I didn't know if you were doing Wes. Nice.
Yeah, it's awesome. So I'm excited to see that too. And yeah, we should get Ordinary Harry to do a host one time.
Oh God, yeah.
That'd be so awesome.
I would absolutely love that. It's the time zone thing.
Yeah.
I just want to watch Harry break down my plays and tell me how much I'm messing everything up so that I can finally learn how to play this game.
Yeah,
Yes.
Wes has been messaging me a while. Has really been wanting to get in here and hosting, so we were able to make it work this week. So I'm happy to have him.
All right, can't wait. All right, guys, listen, this is great. We should probably do more episodes kind of like this, where we discuss certain different things or focus on some type of deck building. I think Cerebro is the next podcast, so get ready for that. And you guys have anything else you guys want to say?
Nope. Go check out CubeRush Events on Twitter and Twitch. Go check those out. You can check me out at Loot Muncher 0 on both of those platforms also.
That's right. You even got 0 in your name, Loot. See, look at that.
I do, unfortunately.
All right, yeah, guys, we'll leave all our socials down below and CubeRush as well. And see you guys in the next podcast.
Later.
Peace.
Peace.